Well, I can't say how honored I am to be interviewing this dear sister who has represented so much in many of our lives. So we've got Sister Sonia Sanchez, and would like you to speak a little bit about your, let's say, your impressions of the last few days here at the National Urban League.
I've been blessed to see so many people. One of the opening nights, Sister Maya was here, and she read a most beautiful piece. She was here with Carmen, actually, and so she's doing what many of us are doing, this cross-generational thing. Like I have done panels and on programs with Talib Kweli and Mos Def and Sister Ursula Rucker and Brother Ras Baraka. And Sister April Silver, all these younger people, we're trying to show and tell people there's no difference between any of us at all, that we all are here doing the same work, and we all respect and work and love each other. So, and I was blessed to be part of a youth panel yesterday, where all of us were there together, from judges, to community workers, and they had young people. One of the young brothers was from Impact, Brother Jamal Joseph's program in New York City. And we just listened to them talk about what they're doing, how they are being empowered by working. Because the theme here is empowered, we are empowered. And to tell young people that that's a possibility, that they are indeed that, is very important for them to walk and understand that. And then today, I had a luncheon with a bunch of young people, and I talked to them about their ancestors, the boys, and Brother Robert Hayden, the poet, and Sterling Brown, the poet, and all the people who've gone before us, and the people who are still kicking, Sister Maya, and we talked about what they must do, what they must know, how they must move on this earth during this time that they are here. During the time that they are here, we, their elders, must have prepared a way for them, but it's not a perfect preparation, that we have certainly on many levels messed it up as far as wars and peace is concerned, but the point is that we're trying to prepare them to continue the great work of peace and racial and social and economic and sexual justice, and they were very responsive to it. And I wrote a poem for them. It's a poem that talks about the black youth, who they are, and I did a litany of just words about them, how I see them, how they are. So it is so nice to have been here, to see the young people, to involve myself with them, their ideas, who they're about, what they want, their dreams, their fears, their quests, just what it is that we as their elders and older people should try in no uncertain terms, to do, to make sure they continue this great tradition of being an African in a place called America, and in this diaspora. So it was just amazing. I was just saying, I've had a little drink. That's all I've had today to eat, because I've just been that kind of busy, but it's been worthwhile, because when you see them moving and talking to each other and listening, you know that there's so much more that's going to happen in this country because of them.
Let me ask you this, kind of taking you back a bit of a ways. You remember the show Soul with Alice Hayslip? Yeah, that dates both of us. But it was a show I often felt was just, sort of ahead of its time in some ways. Is there a possibility that young people like this and yourself, ourselves, will be able to do a program like that again. Do you think America is, like they were saying, is America ready for a black president? Well, are we? Hey, you were ready for 43 Caucasians, so.
The way that you really will get a show like that is that we have people petitioning for something like that, that this kind of thing that will have that kind of beauty and intelligence and information and politics, most of the stations aren't interested in anything like that. It's all fun and games. So if we can't get it on television, we can still get it on the radio and with programs like yours, and we can also do it at programs like this, the National Urban League. Like what that means simply is that we will come in and do this kind of work that needs to be done, and we will do that, and we'll keep doing it, going to the universities and make sure that it continues to be. So if not on these national networks, maybe we can try to push some of the NPR and the internet. Most certainly, the internet is certainly an important part of all this, right?
One final question, and because I think you've retired from Temple, and so what are you doing now?
Actual teach. Oh gosh, I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I can be on the road now like I couldn't be when I was tied down, to a classroom. I mean, the classroom becomes the whole country and the world now. The classroom becomes going to universities and speaking, doing workshops. The classroom has become, crossing the ocean, going to the continent, going to Europe and continuing to do what you have done in a classroom, under circumstances that were not always the nicest of course circumstances. So it is good to continue this work, and and I'm writing. Of course, I have the new book Morning Haiku. I have a collection of plays coming out in August from Duke University Press. I have a collection of essays coming out from Beacon Press in February. So I'm working very hard. Right? Yes.
I'm just amazed that you can turn out so much, but it's still coming. And what would be, let's say, a final word that you would want to give to not just young people, because I know that we want to encourage the youth, but there's still some of us that are 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 100. What would you want to say to them?
I just want to say that at some point we have got to look at us as a people and as not only a national people but an international, global people, and to begin to assess what needs to be done, how we need to do it, what we need to give our children also so they too can reach 60 and 70 and 80 and 90. I just want to say to them, especially the elders, a job well done. Thank you for being on this earth. Thank you for being a part of this thing called being human. Thank you for beginning to help us answer the question, what does it mean to be human? That has been our quest. And also putting what I call the African back on the world stage. That is also what we've been doing too. So I would just say, and to the young people, the younger people, the ones still working, hey, keep it up. We can't ever give up for this quest for freedom and justice and peace and on this earth. That it is an endless amount of work and joy at the same time, and we must continue it. And just the last thing, I love you. I love having been on this earth. I love the people I've worked with, and we have all learned to know one thing, that whatever race you are, we all are human beings on this earth, attempting to answer that question, what it means to be human. Okay,
thank you so much, Sister Sonia Sanchez, and we want to also thank Sister Space and Books for this opportunity to have you here to speak. And this is the Mind's Eye Television, Zarina Shakir reporting.